All right. We are live across platforms. Welcome to the Rundown with Ramon with Lainika Johnson and Robert Kennedy III. Glad you all are here today. Those who can hear me on video as well, put some comments in the chat if you can hear me on video and streaming as we bumble and mumble and go through this production. But I believe everybody can hear me on BWC. And again, thanks to the crew for allowing me to live stream and bring other guests as we do a brand new episode of the Rundown with Ramon. I'll turn to you first, Lainika Johnson. Let people know who you are, what you do, who you serve, and Lainika, why you are so excited to wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning, or wherever you are in the world, and be on the Rundown with Ramon. Talk to the people.
Good morning. Well, I'm just honored to be here because you're a superstar, as is Robert. So thank you. My name is Lainika E. Johnson. I am the CEO and president of Press Staffing. I love being here and talking to you about all things business because our clients are the ones that we help streamline and do more with less by putting virtual assistants, remote staffers into their business so that they can do things faster, better, and more efficiently.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Lainika, and for sure you are popping. You are an amazing human. I see people joining us on video. As you're joining us, if you hear the sound of my voice, can you let me know? And if you don't hear the sound of my voice, you won't know that I'm asking you, can you hear the sound of my voice? Robert Kennedy, the communication extraordinaire, kinetic communications and more. Talk to the people. Tell us what's going on in your world. Dr. Will Moreland is here. Show is live. Dr. Will, just affirm and confirm that you can hear me, please. But I believe you can, Dr. Will. Robert Kennedy, talk to the people.
What's going on, my friend? I love being here with the two of you because it is a bright, shining star on my Tuesday morning. I am the president of communications. I'm messing up my words right now. I'm the president of Kinetic Communications, a communications training firm here in Laurel, Maryland. We work with small business leaders, small business owners, teaching them how to communicate, connect, collaborate, all the C words, and do that with confidence. How about that?
I love it. Communication is so important. Robert Kennedy III, Dr. Will Moreland, thank you so much for being here. Dr. Will always brings a smile on my face to know that you and your 87 pair of sneakers are with us today, and see Marie on streaming platforms. I know, right? Is here as well. So glad you're all here today. BWC, let me just pause real quick. Did anybody want to share something from the last segment? Didn't get a chance to share. Are we good? And should I continue with the Rundown with Ramon show? But anybody wanted to pop in and say something, just unmic and say hello, and we'll have you join us for a bit, and then we'll start off with the show. Well, I did hear a door close. That was Health Wellness, or I think it was Health Ishman. All right. So I think we'll continue on if nobody says their name and jumping in. Well, Hey, thank you, Doctor. I think that was Dr. Jeannie and Mary Lynn at the same time. Dr. Jeannie, how are you this morning? You doing well? Doing okay? Yes. Isn't Dr. Will amazing? I mean, Dr. Will Moreland's he is. Awesome sauce. Exactly. Mary Lynn, how you doing? You doing okay? See, Mary Lynn, it's that corniness that I love. I wouldn't have thought that fast when one door opens, another door closes. Everybody, we're going to begin our segment today. Lainika has been waiting to talk about this subject for the last several, thank you so much, the last several minutes here, several days here. There was a headline I ran on zoneofgenius.com. And if you all are not subscribed to zoneofgenius.com, as Julie Loken is, founder of CreativeCon, you need to do that. The headline on the Wall Street Journal, Lainika, says, Zuckerberg's grand vision, most of your friends will be AI, Robert. That's what the man himself says. Most of your friends will be AI. My humble opinion, Lainika, is that most people have a knee-jerk reaction, and they're going to be saying, no, it can't be. The human's experience will never go away. That's what I believe most people are going to rush and say. But as I've been thinking about this more and thinking of my own little bubble here, Robert, you want to jump in? Okay, thinking of my own little bubble here, I'm saying to myself, maybe Mark's right, even though he's in court with the FTC trying to keep WhatsApp and Instagram together. But Lainika, what are your thoughts of over the short period of time, more of us just talking to agents? What do you think?
Well, I think it's inevitable, first of all, with the way that AI is developing and how fast it's developing. We have been marching towards this reality, I think, for a minute now. And I think there's two sides to it. So I use it I use it to manage my ADHD, right? And some people would say I use it as a friend, right? I'm like, hey, good morning. I'm having, I woke up late. I'm already starting off on the wrong foot. I need some help getting my life together today, right? So people can say I use it as a friend. So there is some potential there to help people navigate day to day, right? It's a safe space. It's not going to judge you unless you tell it to, because you can say, judge me, and it will judge you harshly. But otherwise, it's a safe space. However, it also can be a form of emotional escapism, I think, where people are avoiding growth and, and coming to terms with true human dynamics because, they're avoiding the conflict that they would have with a real person that's going to push back. I also think that there's a risk of treating AI agents like a fetish, expecting, obedience, fetishizing, like any of those things, projecting roles, based on the way they think somebody might look, creating this whole idea in their mind. I think there's two sides of it. I think it can be helpful, but I also think it can be harmful.
I agree with you. I think you're 100% right. Robert, talk to us. What do you think about this, man? What's going on with this AI agents? Mark Zuckerberg saying AI as humans, will be talking to them more. What are your thoughts on this? I think it's an important topic.
Well, I agree that we're going to be talking to them more. I think I want to be careful about the word friends as far as AI being the majority of my friends. I don't know that's something that I want. And speaking about Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, I'm going to get personal for a second. Mark Zuckerberg, if you think about who he was in college, probably fit in that socially awkward category, right? And so now he's actually created a world where we have all of these people who we have no idea. And while I enjoy social media and the ability to connect with people who are in different geographical locations, he's also created a space where friendship is means something different, right? It's not the same. I'll use the word authentic friendship as it was, before social media. And so now we feel like we know people when we really don't. We feel like are entitled to information about people when we're really not. And that's the world that's been created. So I think, to Lanika's point, this is kind of the next step. This is the next layer of that. We're going to be battling um the people who are fighting for AI as their friends because they don't want to deal with the reality, the conflict of true human nature.
Yeah, but I mean, can't you see a world? Because I think we're already here technological, and then I'd love to see if anybody on BWC has comments for this. But can you see a world, Robert, where, because I think technically it's already here, Siri and all that stuff, it's all built in. It's just a matter of fine tuning some things and privacy controls and legal things. Robert gets into his car and says, oh man, I yelled at my daughter just now. I shouldn't have. Man, what do you think? Robert, you're exactly right. You shouldn't have yelled at your daughter. And you know what? Last week you were at the pastor and he said, blah, blah, blah. I guess kind of ish, going back to the fuller scale of it as friends. That's just hitting the surface. It's already there. That's just putting voice. But can you see where I guess more the companies are pushing it more? Little girl dropped her ice cream cone. It's okay. You dropped your ice cream cone. Millions of little girls have dropped their ice cream cone before. Push. Here's a game. Play this and let's move on. You know what I'm saying, Robert? So can you see it infuse more and more with especially a certain segment and growing? Robert, thoughts?
I can see that, and I'm normally an optimist, but I'm going to play the cynic this morning. How many movies have you seen where initially the computer or the robot or the artificial intelligence was a good thing, and we were like, oh, that's so nice, it's doing this very well, and then there's some nefarious person behind the scenes with the hood and the cloak and the Wizard of Oz curtain that says, oh yeah, I'm going to control the people. So then that thing that we got used to, that we thought was nice, now kind of turns against us even before we recognize that it does, and we're ultimately being controlled by that thing. I just want us to be careful about terminologies or making it something that can, air quotes, replace human relationships.
Lainika, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that he's right. I mean, I really do. I agree with everything he said. I think the word friend, though, has become so loosely used.
Right.
Right. And I don't think that the pandemic helped at all with this, because we became more isolated and we put a lot more stock in relationships that were distant, because we were all distant.
Mm-hmm.
And so it made it easier. I think it really set the stage for us to go into this era of most of our friends being people that can't come and knock on our door. Right. So, like, I live in California, you live in New Jersey. Robert, you're in where? Where are you at?
Maryland.
Maryland, right? So we're everywhere, and we are building relationships on, which is a great thing on one hand, but on the other hand, we have lost that community kind of feeling of just, hey man, hey girl, I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna stop by real quick. I picked up a bottle of wine, or I made a casserole. I'm gonna stop by. We just don't have that as part of our relationships as much anymore. And I think it's become normalized not to.
Yeah, and I think I want to lean back into the terminology piece of this. I mean, so if I use social media as an example, LinkedIn has connections, Instagram has followers, Facebook has friends, right? And so when you're kind of like, okay, is he really my friend though? I mean, and there's some good things that have come of it. I've met some people online first that we've developed great relationships, right? We've connected with people. I mean, I think about Ramon. Our first connection wasn't in person. We spoke on the phone first, right? And then we had a FaceTime after that. And then years later, we met in person for the first time. I've had some of those things happen online. So I think for me, it's the idea on Facebook, particularly, where you say, okay, yep, I'm going to do a friend request to that person, and immediately they're termed my friend. No, not really. They're just somebody who accepted a request from you online. The relationship comes later.
And I'm learning that today, Robert, and I want to see Marie, and then I'm going to turn to BWC. Anybody has a comment? C. Marie says, AI is a tool. Human connection is still necessary. The delusion is expected, but it's a choice everyone has to make. And I like that aspect of choice. Even Seth Godin is saying, not just us as individuals, us three here, but he's saying even governments and the billion-dollar corporations that control all the things we see and do, they have a choice to make. Meta made a choice to limit its glasses to not be able to see people and tell you who they were live. Now, they're rolling that back. They're saying we may just tell you the name, but it's a choice. The technology for all we want to do is here. It's just a matter of what we allow or not. Dr. Will Moreland jumping in here. Humanity is undefeated. We adapt, change, and grow. Being intentional is key to thriving relationships. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. If you don't want to miss out on amazing content like this, definitely want to go to zoneofgenius.com and check us out there for sure. Sign up. We got a lot going on. Publish a great email newsletter. Julie Loken, founder of Creative Con, is our most ardent follower. Definitely, if you want to communicate better all the things in your business or personal life, you want to scream at your dog better, you want to get more clients, I don't care what it is, you want to see, I'm sorry, Robert, you want to see Robert Kennedy, robertkennedy3.me, you definitely want to check him out. You want help in your business with staffing and more, you definitely want to go to pressstaffing.com at Lainika Johnson for sure. And thank you all for being here and thank you, Dr. Jeannie, for putting that link up there. Breakfast with Champions side, anybody wanted to jump in here, just say your name. What are your thoughts on this AI, and especially as friends? And one thing I will share, Robert and Lainika, before I jump back in, thank you. Yeah, 1 second, here's that. Just to share that, even on Facebook, I'm sure it's happened to all of you, is that somebody said, Ramon, let's connect. I saw we were connected loosely to 4 or 5 other people. And going back to the word friend, Robert, I know that's just the name Facebook calls it, but I'm like, oh, they may be cool peeps. And it happens on LinkedIn. I'm like, yeah, you could be my friend. Boom, Ramon, do you need a virtual assistant? I get it. I respect the hustle. We all need business. And I said, just curious, do we know each other? Have we crossed paths? Most likely we haven't. And it's okay. I'm not going to flame them for it. I've done it. But it was a bit, I thought maybe she was cool with Robert or cool with Lainika or knew somebody I know, a new friend, new person. I can just say, who are you? Who's me? And we can do it. But we weren't friends. She just wanted business. BWC, say your name, open your mic if you want to join. If not, we got a lot more in store.
Good morning, Ramon.
Hey.
How can a non-organic or biological thing be a friend?
That's a great question. How can a non-organic, a non-biological, and that's health, Be a friend. Well, that's what I think Robert is saying here. We're all saying similar things, but Robert really brought that out. He's arguing with the definition of friend. No need for me to speak to Robert because he's looking right at me, but I'm going to speak for Robert because it adds more drama to the conversation. It's just that, as Robert was saying, if we want to call it transaction, call it communication, call it talking, I think go for it. I think we're all saying, but Robert's pushing back saying when you call it a friend, that's probably a human thing. But health, you're exactly right. Anybody else want to jump in? Then me, Lainika, and Robert have another round on this, but who else wants to jump in on friends and AI and agents and being our friends? Who else? G.A. Pimpleton, the financial expert of the world. Talk to me.
Hey man, you know what's interesting? I actually use AI and I use the voice application, and I actually had it going while you guys were talking, and me and I say AI, but me and Jarvis was having a conversation about the replacement. And now that you said that, I use so many AI agents that actually there's phone calls that I don't make anymore. Like there used to be there, and I know you had this conversation, Ramon. You know, this you're working on something, and you said, "Let me call and see what they think about this. Let me call and see what this person thinks about. Let me call Robert Kennedy third and see what he thinks about this, and see how this goes." There's a lot of those conversations I don't even have anymore because I have 6 or 7 AI agents working in the background, or I have Jarvis on throughout my day, and he will hear exactly what I'm saying and give me vocal feedback on what I'm working on. I just think that's interesting. I think that's what what I.
No, you're right, GA. And I think, and then I'll bring you back in, Robert and Lainika here. But I think, GA, to your point, I often, good, thank you. And that's probably thanks to RK3, Lainika. GA, for sure, I'm doing that more and more about my business. I even tell y'all something. Okay, y'all can't tell my wife this, but I even like sitting at an issue between me and my wife. I just asked ChatGPT. Nothing beats a real life marriage coach, marriage therapist. You know, you have the hours with them, but it's getting so good. If you have the time, the knowledge is out there. I think no one will disparage that. Everything Lainika knows about trash, it's out there. Everything I know about speaking on stage, it's out there. Ain't nothing new. I think we'll all arguably agree with that. All the knowledge is there. But I think one thing I'm seeing, and then I'll turn to you, Lainika, I think that hopefully one thing this friendship won't replace is what I guess the only thing is after church, sitting in somebody's living room, having a joke, having a smile, giving a hug. I hope that's the only thing. But indeed, where it comes to many other things, AI is getting hot. It's popping. Lainika, jump back in. Robert, jump back in. Lainika, you first.
Well, as all of us have said, there's no replacement for human connection. There's just not. There's no way that an AI agent will ever be able to do that. However, it can simulate, right? So that is really what it's doing, is simulating. It will never actually be able to do it. What I'm really concerned about is these the advent of paywalls being put up for more connection, right? So you want a more premium, experience. You want more emotional wellness. There's going to be a paywall up so that you can go deeper. That is really what will happen. I don't doubt at all that is kind of why it's being set up the way that it is. I think emotional engagement is kind of like what we're going towards. It's like, how do we monetize emotional engagement? That's what worries me.
No, I hear you. Good morning, Tim Son from PA. Good to have you here. Robert, talk to me.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not necessarily worried about what AI will and won't be able to simulate. I am more concerned about what we will accept. So, for example, and I think about like the Terminator movies back in the day, in the 90s or 80s or whatever it was, where they had robots that were human, right? Humanoids and essentially functioned as humans. Um, and people related to them as other humans. I think about people who grow up maybe missing a certain sense of love or a certain sense of connection with parents or with family members. what happens later on, they begin to accept certain things that are not necessarily true love, but because they didn't have the baseline love, they begin to accept certain things as that. So if I think about AI and robotics and artificial intelligence in that way, what is it that we're missing, and what will we accept and call it friends, or call it love, or call it connection, because we ourselves are not whole?
That's exactly, Robert. I love that, and we're going to open the floor for BWC one more time before we shift topics here. But Lainika and Robert, I want to open up a topic. But Lainika and Robert, you'll have to help me not get it too spicy. Robert, do not allow me to go off the deep end when I'm about to open up.
You're
Robert.
about to talk about sex robots? No, I'm playing. All right.
I was actually close. I was. See, you're gonna get me kicked out, but thankfully Mary Lynn's off to work, as she loves saying, so she can't boot me because she's driving with both hands on the steering wheel. But yes, I'm going to open up the door, but I don't want to get too spicy, Robert. Not too spicy, Robert. Who's it? Go ahead. Who talked to me? Who's that?
Ooh, I'm worried.
Mary Ken, talk to me, please.
Was a lady, I think she's from Spain, came from the Bronx. She actually married an AI male that she created. She had a big event around it. She actually married an AI man.
No, Mary
I
Kim.
think
Exactly. There's a little bit of echo, Robert. No, Mary Kim. Mary Kim, you're 100% right. This is what I wanted to open up, Robert. And again, I want to move on from this quickly. And I'm saying this from a man's perspective. So, ladies, just roll with me here. Let's not go to all dimensions of it. But I have a friend of mine. Very hard for him to have a relationship with ladies. A bit awkward and quirky. Blah 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 blah. Very hard. Ladies talk to him. He gets nervous and all this. Totally get it. Y'all have friends like this. This is life. This is human, right? We understand this. And he's very frustrated. Someone like him, could this not be a solution? Could this not be in help? But to what I think you're saying, Robert, is should he allow it? Is it going to not be good for other areas of his life? Yes. But like if he's 35 years old, 40 years old, we all want love and affection, some sort of bot, even just agent, just on the screen even. It could be a water bottle, just at least to give him that affirmation, make him feel like a man a bit, just I'm talking about verbally, you know what I mean, emotionally. Is there something like that, Lainika? Talk as a woman, represent all the women in the world, because you understand what I'm saying. Is that not something we can call it not a friend, Lainika? We can call it can't replace humans, but for him, the bullying, the challenge he's gone through, at least for 10 minutes that day, somebody, in quotes, a bot, can make him feel loved. Talk to me, Lainika, if you get what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're trying to say. I just think that it's dangerous because, like we said, it really can't simulate a real human.
Correct.
And I can see the wrong person taking that experience out into the real world and thinking that it's going to play out that way. And it doesn't. And they get themselves into a pickle. And so it kind of, I'm very concerned about that aspect of it. I think that there is some reality confusion that can happen.
Ooh, reality confusion. I like that word. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. That's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid that people that are vulnerable, they're going to turn to these, to these options.
Right, sure.
And genuine relationships and AI relationships will start to blur.
Yeah. And that's true. And as Mary Kim mentioned, I mean, it start to blur and more. But Robert, before I bring you in, C. Marie is just going. She went all out, Robert. She didn't even hold bars. Bottom line, what I'm hearing here, AI may not be perfect, but Robert Kennedy is the only one that can help me be a better speaker. That's in essence what C. Marie said. That's the essence of what I'm reading here. AI, y'all can do what you want, but only Robert Kennedy can help. Dr. Wilson. Dr. Will see why my cyber girlfriend is amazing, always uplifting, never arguing with me. Hallelujah. Robert, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit thrown off by Dr. Will right now because, of course, that went back to those.
I'm telling Christy,
affection robots.
Absolutely, the conversation has stalled.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we go. I think it's really just about awareness and intention. Seeing what happens with the technology, and in some sense, us continuing to fight for humanity, right? Because at some point, if we just say, yeah, this is great, yeah, this is great, and we're unaware and we allow a certain small sector of people to say, yes, this is where the world should be with regard to technology, and we just accept it, um we then become slaves, right? We then become inconsequential. Do I still fight for humanity? Do I still fight for relationship? I mean, and if I go back to the definition of friendship here, do I just say yes, because we're connected on Facebook, we're friends, or do I fight and say, yeah, let me find out a little bit more about this person? Lanika and I have never met in person, but we have some sense of a relationship because
Absolutely.
we have each other's perspectives and opinions that we're talking about here. You know, there are people listening, but we're essentially having a dinner table conversation right now, right? And so, because we're doing that, I can see Lanika in person for the first time and give her a hug and be like, hey, friend, what's going on? Because I feel like I know her to some degree, right? If we're just saying, let's just, accept people online, but we never go deeper, we never pursue more relationship intentionally, then then that's what our world becomes.
I love this. I love this. I'm going to open the floor to the Breakfast with Champions side. By the way, my name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. You definitely want to go to zoneofgenius.com. Don't miss out. You definitely want to sign up if you don't want to miss out on content like this without the intimate robot part and more. Definitely let me. Definitely sign up at zoneofgenius.com. Lanika, do me a favor and talk to the people and tell us, Lanika, about Press Staffing, what you do, who you serve, why you help them. Take a minute if there's an example you want to give, whatever it is, but talk a little about Press Staffing and why it's so important for business owners to scale, leveraging the power of pressstaffing.com.
Yeah, so we're actually having a really fun time over at Press right now because we have just launched our new onboarding product. I think I may have talked about that last week. I'm not sure, but we are helping businesses onboard their new staff. I just had a meeting yesterday with a client who brought on someone and it immediately went left, right? And I said, let's hop on the phone. Let's figure out why it went left. And the reason it went left is because she did not have an actual onboarding plan for that person. And so we talked through that and walked it back and said, okay, let's start over, right? So that is what we do at Press Staffing. We put professionals into your business to help you grow your business and help you get back to the things that you're supposed to be doing. But also, we recognize that most entrepreneurs have never managed anyone and they don't know how to onboard staff or retain staff. So we're also here to support you in that as well.
I love that. Definitely pressstaffing.com. Check it out. Robert Kennedy, talk to the people. You are the communication specialist, bringing the fun and the intellect and all the kind of things for the clients you serve and more. Robert, talk to the people. Anything you want to share, tip, thought, case study, whatever you want, brother. Michael's all yours.
Yeah, if you still want to be human and, and connect with people and do it in a way that allows them to feel like you know them, that like you're deserving of their attention, then we work with business owners, business leaders to figure out how they can do that with more confidence. So connect with us, robertkennedy3.me, or you can just head on over to kineticcommunications.com. But go to robertkennedy3.me and it'll correct you to the right place, connect you to the right place.
I love it. Robert Kennedy, thanks for being here, brother. Thank you, Lainika, for being here. And again, my name is Ramon Ray. All right, Breakfast of Champions audience, those watching on video, by the way, Breakfast of Champions is an amazing community with live programming, as far as I know, live programming of humans at 4 a.m. Monday through Friday, a smattering of content as well, sprinkles on Saturdays, I believe, and on Sundays, various things we do, but live programming starting at 4 a.m. Monday through Friday. If you're there and wanting information on health, on fitness, on finance, on money, on family, on the tech, and all the things that humans go through, you definitely want to be in this beautiful community. Started about 5 years ago or more. Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse, the audio only app. BWC, feel free to unmic, say your name loud and clear if you want to join before we switch topics, as we're at the 31 in the hour. I think that's how you say it, period. Anybody else want to join in? And if not, no problem. Hey, GA, please.
Topic that you bring up, this part, we're not going to dive too deep in, but we have been teasing this out since 1984. We have been testing society's appetite for this since 1984. 1984, that movie came out with Electric Dreams. and, and it's the same thing. It's about a guy falling in love with a PC and following having a romance with an actual computer program. And you go from there. I mean, you can go even further. Westworld, same thing.
Good
Uh,
point.
Austin Powers with the pinball. We've been teasing this out to test our appetite for it. And I think what you're seeing is this is probably the most ready that society has been to accept this into everyday life. I just find that interesting.
And I like what you said. The most society has been ready for. That's a great point. As Robert kind of hinted, he gave the word permission, I think, or something like that. Do we allow it? So I think you're right. All this technology has been going on and on and on and on. These are the same debates people had about the horse, buggy, and combustion engine. Same debates, just different time periods. So I love that. Anybody else before we shift topics? We're gonna have another debate. Like the next one is going to be a debate. Trust me on that. It's going to be fire because we're going to bunk the wisdom of some of the savants of time. Thank you, May Adia, saying great job. Thank you so much for that, May. Appreciate you showing up here on the Facebook side. Thank you, LaShawn, for being here, saying good morning to us. LaShawn, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And we got a fight going on between Lainika, Dr. Will, his AI robot, and Christy. I'm staying out of that. That's just, it is what, I'm going to let these people do what they do, Robert. Anybody else on the BWC side want to unmic, say your name before we jump into today's next topic? All right. Cool. Well, again, thanks for being here on Breakfast with Champions. This is The Rundown with Ramon, Robert, and Lainika Johnson. I wanted to bring up another topic. There's a growing debate about 10,000 hours. Malcolm Gladwell, I believe it is, because of course the site has crashed right in front of me. Thank you. Malcolm Gladwell is known to have said the best of the best have 10,000 hours of work put in to be the best. But he's also known as saying, I heard him say it, and he said something again, forgive me for not doing better homework, but that he kind of backed away from 10,000 hours and said either was misconstrued or new data. Not sure what it was. Warren Buffett had a quote, and if y'all have it up, it's just I'm on entrepreneur.com and they have battery. I know how I can get this. I'm going to do Control C because I have a PC. Watch this. Watch how smart I am, people. Hit the little hamburger button, new private window, Control V, enter. Boom, here it goes. Warren Buffett says to forget about 10,000 hours of practice. If you want to master something, do this instead. He said basically it wasn't putting in 10,000 hours of practice, which is made famous by Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers. Instead, I could spend 10,000 hours tap dancing and you'd throw up if you watched me. And let me get to the gem of what he's, instead of putting in time, he said, focus on really what you do best and do well. So this is really not the debate. I thought it was Alexandria. Nicole, welcome. Glad you're here. But I'll throw it to you first, Robert. Just this aspect of it. Many of us have quoted it. Many of our friends, Robert, in the speaking world, everybody, as Malcolm Gladwell said, remember, put in 10,000 hours of work. But Warren Buffett had a point. If I did 10,000 hours of nuclear physicist, we have a bad world ahead of us. We actually, nothing would happen because the bomb wouldn't be made. That was a horrible example. But the point being is that, Robert, let me just ask your opinion. 10,000 hours. Thoughts on that thing? Warren Buffett said, Malcolm Gladwell said. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. And I also think that there is a certain level of sensibility that we have to apply to it, right? If there is something that I'm interested in and I put in 10,000 hours, I'm going to become pretty proficient at that thing. I don't know that I just do the same insanity or do the wrong thing over and over and over again for 10,000 hours. That does happen. I mean, a lot of us have bad habits or things that we've done for years that are not good. But and in some sense, in some bizarro world, we could be experts at not being good at something, right? But I do believe that if you put in the work, you put in the time to anything, whether you like it or not, you will increase in skill at that particular thing. So it's and I hope that if you're doing something for 10 years or 10,000 hours, that you would develop some level of like for it in some way. So I agree that I don't know about the exact numbers. I do agree that putting in the time will help you to get better. But I'm thinking, I don't know that Warren Buffett is saying something different. He's just taking the number out of it at this point.
That's a good point. That nothing's different. That's a good point. And nothing's different said is just taking the hours out. But I think there was some focus, Robert, at least many of us, as it were, that, you know, quoted. So I think that I'm just trying to spread the word that, hey, everybody, we can stop really quoting this thing. You got to give 10,000 hours of practice. And I think it's more so just be good at it and keep doing it. But Lainika, what are your thoughts? You have staff, you hire people, you get people in other people's businesses. You know what I'm trying to say? Why did this go away? How do we get this back? You get people in other people's businesses. See, Robert and Lainika, this is where you're trying to get rid of the little image. Oh, here we go. How do we get rid of the image? Remove. There we go. It was just throwing me off. So you get people in this. And I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Is part of what you do. Press staffing is excellence in people and projects. What are your thoughts on this 10,000 hours, Warren Buffett versus Malcolm Gladwell?
I mean, 10,000 hours. I mean, I think the number is arbitrary, right?
Fair enough.
Just practice makes perfect, right? Or perfect practice makes perfect. So I think if you practice anything, you're going to get better. Some of us just have innate skills. We're just really good at certain things, right? I'm a really good dancer. I always have been. But if I was technically trained, I would be much better than someone who was not born with rhythm, right? With the same 10,000 hours. So yeah, you can become very proficient, like you said, in 10,000 hours. Will you become a master? I don't know. You just may not be really that just inclined to do that thing very, very well. Yeah. Right. Some people are really good writers just naturally. And there's some people that can practice and become proficient writers. That doesn't mean that they're going to be a master. That doesn't mean they're going to become a Maya Angelou, right? They just may become proficient. So I just think 10,000 is just a very arbitrary number, and it ignores natural aptitude. So yeah.
I think it's a matter of desire as well, Ramon. You know, am I inputting the hours because I want to be better at something, because I want to master something, or is it just because it's a hobby? It's something that I just like a whole lot. If I lean into what Dr. Will said, you can practice the wrong golf swing for 10,000 hours and you would just end up perfecting a bad golf swing, right? You know, am I playing golf because I want to become an expert golfer, or just because I just enjoy golf and go golfing with my friends? If I could go golfing 4 times a week and I do that over the course of 10 years just because I like it, you know, that then I have what I have. But if I said, you know what, I want to become better at golfing. I want to be Tiger Woods like level. I want to be Jordan Spieth level. I want to be an excellent golfer. Then I'm going to be intentional about seeking the skill set or seeking the corrections that it takes to get to that level and become a master.
But think about, what if you have 10,000 hours of private coaching versus 10,000 hours of just practice by yourself. Right? That's
exactly what I'm saying.
You're going to have 2 completely different experiences.
Yeah. No, I love this. And I think it's so true. And I think of myself as a speaker. Let me just go to the comments here. I love it. C. Marie says, and C. Marie, thank you for being here on the Rundown with Ramon. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to hit up Lainika to make some Rundown with Ramon products with her and her team at Press Staffing, paid for by Robert Kennedy. And then I will ship it to you, paid for by else. Buffett made it more humanized. He took away the dread or fear for some. C. Marie, thanks for being here for sure. Love it. Again, Robert, if you're not checking the comments, Robert, actually, I would hope you're talking about what Dr. Will said, that if you kept practicing, somebody would tell you how bad your swing is. Robert, Dr. Will, love having you here. Alexandria Nicole, amazing business coach. She says, my opinion is that it's more of a sentiment towards mastery over dedicated focus. And you're right, Alexandria, but I think the reason I call it out is because it's quoted so much, this number of 10,000 hours. And I believed it, you know, when it said in the book. It just now it's beginning to annoy me a bit. But I think that but you're right, Alexandra, the sentiment is practice, practice, practice. And Robert and Lainika, as being speakers, as all 3 of us are at various degrees, what we're doing, I think of myself, my own journey, especially leaving London, Robert and Lainika. I believe I grew even more than I thought I did in London. And I believe by God's grace, I'm seeing it as a gift that I have to host events. It is a gift. And yes, I practice it, being on this platform for 5 years, for hours a day, some days every day. it's honed it in. But I think also, Robert, to the point you have, I think you said aptitude or something. It's also combined with that. And going to what you do as a business, Robert, for sure. I have no doubt, Robert, that anybody who works with you, anybody will be better at what they're doing as far as communication. They'll be better. No doubt about it. Now, certain people, Robert may say low key, sorry, baby girl, sorry, sir. Not sure I can get you on the TEDx stage, but I can make you better in the boardroom in your company. I can help you with that. So, things like that. Dr. Jeannie here, love this conversation about 10,000 hours. One of the smartest women I know, by the way, versus not smartest woman I know. One of the smartest women, because Lainika, I'm looking right at her. Lainika's like, whoa, wait a minute here, Ramon. I'm going to resign. Love this conversation about 10,000 hours versus intensive coaching, making me think about about mastery and the practice of practice, even if we have the gift. For sure. Appreciate this conversation. Love it again. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. If you're loving this insight, definitely all I ask is one thing of you. Check us out at zoneofgenius.com so you don't miss out on tips like this. You want to sign up, go to zoneofgenius.com. My friend Robert Kennedy, our co-host here on the show on Tuesdays, Robert Kennedy, 3.me, or look him up at Kinetic Communications. Definitely for all your communication needs and more. You want to get better at what you're doing, better at speaking, better at communication, better at telling your story, better in the boardroom, better on the main stage, better wherever it may be. You definitely want to see Robert Kennedy III and his team for sure. Robert Kennedy 3.me for sure. Of course, Lainika Johnson here with Press Staffing. Get help with your staffing needs. You want to grow your business, scale your business. You want help just to offload the things that you don't want to do, don't know how to do, or should not do. You want to see Lainika Johnson with Press Staffing. And if you got a company that's got trash, you want to see her other business, Trash Logic, as well. Listen, let me open the floor. I think I haven't opened up to the Breakfast with Champions side in a bit. We got about 16 minutes to go in this segment before we turn it over. And again, Lainika, I just want to tell you personally, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here in the Rundown with Ramon, showing up week after week. Clearly, you're seeing it a value. It's a value for me to have you. So thank you, Lainika. Robert Kennedy, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for seeing it a value to roll with me here on the show here. Appreciate it. You both are experts in what you do. You could have an hour of your day anywhere else, but the fact that you voted and said yes to me, it means a lot. So thank you for still being here on the show. And any time that I say very publicly, it appears, hey, Ramon, it's time to do something different. No problem. No harm at all. Robert, just send me a little note. Hey, Ramon, I'm gone. And then you're dead to me and I'll never talk to you again. Okay. Robert knows I love him, so I could talk to him that way. Breakfast with Champions side. Unmic, say your name. Anybody wanted to join in on this conversation? I'll pause for 2 seconds. Pierre, the absolute best human who knows analytics like nobody's business. He will make your number sing, dance, and jump in the shower. This is the man who knows all things analytics. He was doing Google Analytics before Google even knew it was Google Analytics. Pierre, talk to me. Good to have you here.
Hey, good morning. It's a good quote. It's actually, and you're right, it's been touted quite a bit, based on some original research on it. But that research is also about kind of like an average principle for someone who is on an international stage. If you can kind of do the deep dive on it. But one of the things I think we all have to think about is how AI changes that equation a little bit. And I think that part is the part that also needs to be researched a little bit. We have so many different tools now that help us on our productivity and get better, ideally. So the new question becomes, what is the new average, so to speak? 10,000 hours is definitely a big average, but and it's usually done for high stakes, high professional, probably more extensive according to some of the research. But then again, we now need to think, what are the tools that helps us to train and get better at our profession even much faster than before? And I think that's the part we're going to see quite a bit now. It's more tools are arriving.
I love that, Pierre. So what I'm hearing you say as well, and again, this is a debate we had. I was at a Mother's Day thingamajiggy on Sunday, and everybody in there is IT and all those kind of things. But the point is that we discussed more and more people can be experts. I will never have the experience of Trash Logic and all those kind of things that Lainika has, but with the power of AI, I may be able to be hired by her company easier than it was 20 years ago. She's like, Ramon, take some time, study this. You smart, get up to speed. AI can help me. I'll never have the real knowledge he has, but that's what I'm hearing you say. AI, same thing with communication to speaking. It's easier to blow smoke and or easier to leverage it for opportunities to get to the next level. Anybody else on BWC? Pierre, thanks for being here, brother. All of you should check out Pierre's site. Check him out. Click on his little face there, icon, whatever it is. He's a good guy. I've known Pierre for many, many years, a show up type of person. So definitely analytics, and I'm sure there's more Pierre may do, but tech background, you definitely want to see Pierre. Anybody else on mic, say your name before we switch to the next topic of the day. All right. Good to see you all here though. Trish, glad you're here, and Ishman and Caleb, glad you're here. Tony's here. Bella, what's up, Bella? Judith is here. Alicia, and of course, Dr. Jeannie Maria, the real estate empress, and more. Glad you all are here today. And Jackie, who's not from London, but Ireland, as she forcefully let us know that some days ago. I'll never forget, Jackie, when you were like, wow, he's saying the London room. She said a few other choice words too. All right, listen, I want to shift topics here, talking again to Robert Kennedy, the communication expert, Lainika Johnson. I don't want to start a fight here, Robert. I'm going to turn to you first, Robert, here for this. Let me see if I can get this little image up here, Robert. Please, Robert, buckle up to your seat. Don't get angry at me, Robert. And Lainika, please don't fight, y'all. Let's not do that on this show here. How do I get the three people to the side here? Let's make this nice and cute. Come on, got to be a better way. There we go. So here's the question of the day, Robert. Does it matter if Starbucks puts smiley faces on the cups or not? And again, take this broadly wherever you want to go. But you know the battle. Starbucks is, of course, this $1 trillion, billion-dollar company. But on the zoneofgenius.com, I often bring out, because that's in the news. You know, it's easiest. Companies don't cover me, Robert, and Lainika that much. But they cover the bigger brands. But I always pull out, Robert, lessons for us smaller businesses. That's what I do at zoneofgenius.com. So my question here, you know, Starbucks, their stock went down, numbers went down, whatever it is. These big companies, you know, have their valuations. They have a new CEO. And bottom line, he said he's moving out as much automation as they thought in place of human baristas. But a big part of this thing that I'm sure you've seen, Robert, Lainika lives at Starbucks, she says, is the smiley face on the cup or a version of that. So bottom line, the human experience, smiley face or not, human connection, or you like, no, just give me my darn cup of coffee. I don't need a smiley face and I'm out. Or does it mean something? Talk to that issue, Robert, and or bring it to a bigger issue. Smiley faces on Starbucks cups. Robert, talk to me.
I guess I'm not a Starbucks aficionado enough, because this article and this graphic is the first time that I've ever noticed there's smiley faces or graphics or doodles on a Starbucks cup. I mean, you are great in the bottom right-hand corner. I like that. That's nice, but I've never noticed this before, dude. I'm totally out of the loop on this.
You are making millions of baristas cry. And to be clear, just to give Robert full context, Lainika, because he's not in our club, this is not a machine generated all millions of cup, but just to give fuller context, it's you get your coffee, girl smiles at you, guy smiles at you, and does some little thing on there and gives it to you, just to give you full context. So
I've never seen that. I've never paid attention to that.
This is horrible.
And I'm not a coffee drinker, so that's probably the thing. If I go to Starbucks when I'm on the road, I'll get like a chai tea with 2 pumps of vanilla and caramel or something. I don't know. But I still, in that case, never noticed the doodle on the cup.
Well, Robert, do you know who amongst us will know? Do you know who amongst us is going to give us a masterclass TED Talk all about this, Robert? Do you know who amongst us? It's not me. It's not you. So,
the
Robert.
Lady in the middle.
The lady in the middle. Lainika, educate Robert. Tell the people what's going on. And whatever you say, your opinion, you're representing the 74 billion Starbucks customers. Talk to the people. Smiley face, cup or not, doesn't matter, Lainika.
I don't think it matters, but and I don't think most people even pay attention. But the thing about this image is that it's really misleading, because the baristas are doing this themselves. They don't have time to do this beautiful, whatever collage of doodles. They're writing one thing, you're great, have a great day. That's all they're putting on there. It's Correct. Not this beautiful, like, I would love that. I would sit there and while I'm drinking my coffee, I would look and, okay, and that's there, but they don't do all that. And I honestly don't think most people pay attention or care. And I don't know. To me right now, Starbucks is doing a lot of things that are very arbitrary, and who cares? Seriously, like, I don't think anybody really cares. And they're making statements for what? Like, oh, we're going back to like no politics, just toxic positivity is what we're gonna do. Like, why?
Toxic
Just
positivity. I never heard
coffee.
that word before. That's interesting.
No,
Okay.
you never heard
I
that?
like it though. Toxic positivity. Robert, you want to jump in before I turn to Tony C? Oh,
I
okay.
don't. I'm
Uh,
still I'm still like wondering what the heck because I've never seen this stuff, and so it's just not a part of my landscape.
But I'm surprised, Lanika, you are jumping into the bandwagon, hurting billions. Do you know there's baristas now at my house now marching, saying we don't matter. Lanika, I would think that you would just sit there and stare at least for 25 minutes at the little horse drawn, the little smiley face. I would think, but I guess Lanika's saying just give me my coffee and let's move
Just
on.
give me my coffee. I mean, like, seriously, I'm here for my flat white. I don't care about any of that stuff. But if it's on there, I'll look. I will say that when they do it at hotels that I stay in, I
Right.
notice.
Okay. Okay.
So when they write it like on the little, like they give you a cookie and they write on there like you're amazing or whatever, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, whatever. I don't know. I guess I don't expect it there, but at Starbucks, I'm just like, I expect it. These are the type of people that would draw on my cup. It's
Right.
not a big deal, right? I'm just like, okay,
I
give
got
me
it.
my coffee. Thank you. You took
Tony,
like an extra 10 seconds to do that, and you could have gave me my coffee already.
see, for me, Lanika, and then I'm going to turn to you, Tony. See, I'm not sure if that was an accident or not, brother, but for me, Lanika, this, this, I can't even get the words out now. The smiley face, it warms the heart. The smiley face, it brings you back to the ethos of Starbucks in Seattle, wherever the heck they were founded at, Michigan, Singapore, wherever. How just they add that little extra little L and smiley and the sunshine and the cows and bits of grass. That speaks to the heart. That's when they do that pump and the flavor comes out. That's what that's about, Lainika and Robert. It's the American connection to love. This is what you all are missing. All right, I'm done. Breakfast of Champions. Anybody want to say your name and jump on in? Do you care or not to have a smiley face on your cup? Tony C, talk to me, Mr. Health himself.
Good morning, everyone. You know what? It does bring a bit of warm and fuzzy. I mean, even to the most stoic person, I think it. I think the more stoic you are, the less you probably make mention, but the more, but you actually feel what it is that um, the the warm and fuzzy. I also some type of psychological marketing that's attached. If you look at the logos of some of the most popular companies, some of the most popular brands, I think they strategically place certain colors and certain ways of writing things and symbols to kind of
Tony, I love it. And Tony, I always knew you were smart. I thought Lanika and Robert were smart as well, but I always knew you were smart, Tony, and now I know you are. Here's the challenge, Tony. It's now 2 against 2. 2 against 2. Robert Lanika saying, it don't matter. Give me my drink. Tony Ramon, we're almost choking up a tear saying it matters. BWC, I need someone to break the tie. Does it matter or does it not? Please say your name and unmic and help bring Robert and Lanika the truth. Help them see the error of their ways.
I want to know who's doing the research on this. I mean, is somebody sending out a survey talking about smiley face or nah on?
Oh, they have a part of this article, Robert. They talk about Sharpies.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm telling you. Okay, who was that on BWC? Your name? Eric, the mic is yours. Tell us something, Eric.
They have mastered what's called the third circle. We have work, we have home, and then we have community. And we all know, like somebody said, flat white. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my drink too. It's all about creating a. And that smiley face is just one way of keeping us talking about them. It's brilliant branding has nothing to do with coffee from the day you pull in to the day you leave. It's not about the coffee. It's about the community they're trying to build.
Eric. Eric, you have made my heart sing. 3 minutes to go in this show. I'm getting to the last word to Lainika and Robert. Breakfast with Champions family. I appreciate you. Thank you for hosting me and Robert and Lainika on the Rundown with Ramon. Appreciate y'all being here, and definitely remind you before I cede the mic to my two colleagues here, definitely if you're looking for all your communication needs, and I do mean this, just even have a call, have a chat, whatever it is, definitely check out Robert Kennedy III, robertkennedy3.me. You can see that there. Kinetic Communications, communication master extraordinaire. Definitely, those of you who are looking to get help in your business, you definitely want to check out Lainika Johnson. Check out her company, her team. She's got a whole team. I am a client of Press Staffing, pressstaffing.com, pressstaffing.com for all of your needs really to help you scale, help you build a business. You got a dream, they can do it. You have an idea, they can do it. You got a project, they can do it and help you. Lainika, I'll turn to you first. What do you want to leave us with today? Anything you wanted to add on any of the topics we talked about today, or a future topic you wish we would have talked about? Whatever you want. The mic is yours.
I just want to say, there's nothing in the world that can replace human connection and relationships. And I really hope that we as a culture get back to one-on-ones. And then maybe people will stop getting on my case about not texting them back.
Ooh, that seemed like a shot, right, Robert? Like she went kabang to somebody out there. Robert Kennedy III, talk to me. The last word will be yours.
Listen, last year, as Ramon and we're both part of the National Speakers Association. Last year at Influence, I made a decision, and that was I was going to text or get on a call with at least one colleague or speaker per week, not to find out how you're building your business, not to find out where I can get my next gig, but just to be human and find out what's happening in your world, what's going on. Let's just chat. And I've had some amazing conversations with people that I have seen in the hallways, with people that I've seen online in virtual meetings, with people that I haven't otherwise gotten to know. And so I want to keep that practice going. And I want to encourage each person that's on the call, each person that's on the clubhouse room, whether you're in an association or not, make the decision that you're going to intentionally reach out to at least one person a week just to be human. That's all.
Amen.
That is powerful. Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, with Lainika, with Lainika, with Robert. Glad you're all here today. Streaming live. I'm going to cut off here. We'll be about a few more seconds on Breakfast with Champions. Don't forget, there's a community for you. Those who are watching us on the streaming chat Clubhouse, the audio-only channel, Breakfast with Champions. Robert, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for co-hosting with me, Lainika. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for co-hosting with me. Everybody have a great day on the live stream. See you on